Welcome back to Geography. Hello everyone. Today we're going to start with a new lesson and with the 11th week of this academic year. Our lesson for today is represented by section 3 of chapter 2, The Land. You can find this chapter on pages 35 to 41 in your book. Have you ever think how Himalayas mountains were formed, or why Himalayas mountains are there, and why some mountains are so huge and very high while others are not? Well, in our lesson for today, one of the main important points that we will explain about is why certain landforms were formed or why they are there. Hence, we're going to start by a short introduction, then we will explain about different types of landforms on the Earth's surface, and after that, we're going to explain about the patterns of the movement of the Earth's plates, and later we're going to practice together the closure activity. Before we start introducing our lesson, open kahoot.it because you will test your prior knowledge there. So you can find here the game pin and certain questions, short questions, they are there where you can check your prior knowledge. All the given questions at Kahoot, they are related to our lesson and to the main points that we will be focusing on during this session. So over billions of years, many different forces have shaped the Earth's surface, especially those processes that built up the landforms and even shifted the positions of the continents. We can explain about the effect of the wind, the water, and the ice on changing the shapes of the planet's landforms too. Changes in the Earth's surface are actually continuous and never stopped. So today we were going mainly to describe the common landforms present on Earth. We will explain how landforms affect our life, and we will interpret the causes and the effects of the forces in building our landforms. The main keywords for today are landforms, continents, plate tectonics, lava, earthquakes, weathering, and erosion. On your copybook, just please write these keywords. You have to summarize about these keywords in your own words on your copybook. Pause this video for 3 minutes and search to find famous mountain range, valley, plain, island, and peninsula. So let's start introducing the main landforms that you can find on the Earth's surface. Landforms, or shapes of the planet's surface, make up the landscapes that surround us. So, Earth's surface is covered with landforms of many different sizes and shapes, such as hills or mountains. And because landforms play an important role in geography, many scientists study how landforms are made and how they affect human activity. What are the mountains? Mountains, or a mountain, is a land that rises higher than 610 meters. One of the most known mountains in the world is the world's highest mountain, which is Mount Everest. And in Al Ain we have Jabal Hafid. By the way, nowadays the weather at Jabal Hafid is amazing. You can go there for hiking and you can enjoy your time. What are the valleys? The valleys are areas of lowland located between mountains or hills. As you see in the world, we have fascinating valleys. In Australia, for example, we have famous deep valleys too. Now, what are the plains? The plains, they are stretches of mostly flatlands. As you see, they are flatlands without any given elevation. Most of the times, the plains, they are used for in agriculture or as grasslands. What are the islands? Islands, they are areas of land that are completely surrounded by water. UAE also is known for having many different islands, for example, Yas Island. And the Palm Island, as it is shown from above, is fascinating too. What are the peninsulas? Peninsulas, they are areas that are surrounded by the water from the sea, from three sides only, which means that one side of the peninsula is still attached to the land, as you see here. Okay, this is the Arabian Peninsula. So one side is still attached to the land. Only three sides are surrounded by water, and one side is attached to the land. Geographers often study how landforms are made. One explanation for how landforms have been shaped involves the forces below the Earth's surface, and this is what we're going to study in the patterns of movement of the Earth's plates. So let's observe this figure and identify the different layers that make up the Earth's surface. Can you name them please on your copybook too? Keep in your mind that the planet's continents, or the large land masses, are part of the Earth's crust, which is the solid layer of the Earth, or the solid outer layer of the Earth. If you compare the continents or the position of the continents 335 years ago, you will find that the positions are totally different of all the given continents. Actually, 335 million years ago, there was what we call the Pangea, or all the given continents. They were composing, or they were forming what we call the one supercontinent. So all the continents, they were attached to each other. So, the theory of plate tectonics suggests that Earth's surface is divided into a dozen or slow-moving plates or pieces of the Earth's crust that they can move, but they are moving in a very, very, very slow speed that you can't notice. Why do these plates move? Actually, energy deep inside the planet puts a pressure on the Earth's crust. As this pressure builds up, it forces the plates to shift. Earth's tectonic plates all move. However, they move in different directions and at different speeds. However, these speeds are very low and you can't notice them during your daily life. So let's explain about the movement of the continents and how the Pangea broke down. The Earth's tectonic plates move slowly, even up to several inches per year, for example. The continents, which are part of the Earth's plate, shift as the plates move. So if we could look back some 200 million years ago, we would see that the continents have traveled great distances. This idea is known as the continental drift. So the theory of continental drift, first developed by Alfred Wegener, states that the continents were once united in a single supercontinent. And according to this theory, Earth's plates shifted over millions of years. As a result, the continents slowly separated and moved to their present positions. And you know, Earth's continents are still moving. Some plates move toward each other and collide, while other plates separate and move apart. Still others slide past one another, for example. So over time, colliding, separating, and sliding plates have shaped the Earth's landforms. Now guys, I want you to think, why was the term continental drift changed to plate tectonics once? The first pattern of the plates movement that we're going to study is when the plates collide. So as plates collide, the energy created from their collision produces distinct landforms. Before we start, just keep in your mind that we have two types of plates. We have the ocean plate and the continental plate. The ocean plate is the one that is mainly covered by oceans, and the continental plate is the plate that is mainly covered by land. So, the collision of different types of plates also creates different shapes on the Earth's surface. Hence, when two ocean plates, one pushes under the other, they create what we call the ocean trench or deep valley under the or in the ocean floor. So as you see here, these are the two oceanic plates. They are moving toward each other. They will collide. One will go beneath the other ones, and they will create what we call the ocean trench. However, when one ocean and one continental plate, they collide, so the ocean plate will drop beneath the continental plate, forcing land above to crumble and to form a mountain range. As you see here in this figure, this is the ocean plate, and this is the continental plate when they are moving toward each other. So the ocean plate will go beneath the continental plate, will drop beneath the continental plate, and this will create what we call the mountain range. Now, when two continental plates collide, the land pushes up to form the mountains. What about the opposite movement of the plates, or when the plates separate? When the plates separate, or as they are moving apart, gaps between these plates will be formed, and this will allow magma to rise to the Earth's crust. Lava, or which is represented by the magma that reaches the Earth's surface, will emerge from this gap, and this sometimes causes what we call the volcanic eruptions. Now, as the lava cools down, it builds a mid-oceanic range, for example, or underwater mountain. So these given underwater mountain or the mid-oceanic range can rise above the surface of the ocean to form the islands. Now the last movement or the last pattern of the plates movement is when the plates slide. As the plates pass by each other, they sometimes grind together, producing what we call earthquakes. Earthquakes, they are sudden, violent movements of the Earth's crust. Earthquakes often take place along faults or breaks in the Earth's crust where movement occurs. For example, the region around the Pacific Plate called the Ring of Fire. That region is the home to most of the world's earthquakes and volcanoes. Now let's watch this illustrating video that will show you the different patterns of movement of the tectonic plates and the resulting landforms and the resulting changes in the landforms too.
The ground beneath our feet is always moving. We don't feel this often, but we can see the results of the movement almost everywhere. The Earth's crust is what moves. Our planet's outer shell. It is not one piece, but instead is made of individual puzzle pieces, plates. They were all part of a continent that broke up over 200 million years ago. Since then, it hasn't stopped moving. This is called tectonics. Plates move slowly, as fast as growing fingernails. Continental plates form the land the continents are on. Plates that are covered with water are called oceanic plates. They are thinner and the rock is heavier. When continental plates collide, the folds can pile up and create huge mountain ranges up to 8 kilometers high. An oceanic plate pushes itself under a continental one. It disappears into the Earth's hot mantle, creating an ocean trench up to 8 kilometers deep. On its way down into the mantle, the oceanic plate melts. But the liquid magma can return to the surface at another place. A volcano is born. When two oceanic plates move apart, the seam is called an ocean ridge. Magma from inside the Earth escapes here. This drives the plates further apart, and makes them grow. Plates that glide past each other can get tangled up and stick. When they separate, the Earth shakes. Earthquakes show our planet is anything but a calm place.
At the end, take 4 minutes just to copy this chart on your copybook, and let's summarize the different patterns of movement of the tectonic plates and the changes that are caused in the landforms because of these different patterns of movement. Thank you for attending this session. I will be waiting for you to discuss more about these topics on the Zoom. See you later.